He allowed them to perform i'tikaf. But this does not mean that i'tikaf in the masjid is better for them than to remain home. Remaining home definitely is better than performing i'tikaf. However, performing i'tikaf in the home is not a sunnah. So it's not a sunnah that you just sit there refusing to go and visit your mother or do something that is needful to be done, or answer your spouse's call for intimacy, because those who are in the masjid are prohibited from doing this, but those are home, it's an obligation upon her to respond to her husband. So there is no relation, as you can see. Her second question is that when I recite the Quran, sometimes when I pass by places where heaven or hell are mentioned, when I pass by these places, I pause for a while and I ask Allah to admit me to Jannah and to give me refuge from entering hell. So is this permissible or is it a bid'ah? This is totally permissible. It is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ that when he used to recite the Quran, whenever he passed by an ayah of mercy, he used to ask Allah from his favors and blessings. And whenever he passed by an ayah of torment and tribulation, he sought refuge in Allah Azza wa Jal. So what you're doing is completely permissible. She asks her third question, what is the ruling on saying Subhana Rabbi al-A'la 3 times in the prostration of recitation? This is the sunnah. You're doing exactly the right thing for that. And fourthly, she says, if I'm reciting the Quran and one of my children comes and I say, yes, go do this, don't do that, do your chores, what happened with your homework, a minute or half a minute even, and I want to resume reciting the Quran, must I seek refuge in Allah from the shaitan? And the answer would be a little bit as weird as the question. Are we so lazy to seek refuge in Allah from a shaitan? Yani what burden would that constitute upon us, just to say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, and you resume your recitation? Unfortunately, we have this laziness in us. I get so many questions by brothers saying that I have 3 things to choose from. So it's buying a car, marrying a woman, and moving to another country for a better job. So can I pray 2 rak'ahs istikhara and combine all of this? Subhanallah. You want Allah Azza wa Jal to choose for you and to facilitate things for you that are so major in your life. Marriage, buying a car, getting a new job. Yet you're so lazy to devote 2 rak'ahs that would not take even 5 minutes of your time for each case, and you want to combine all of them in only 2 rak'ahs to save time and energy. This is not the right way of doing it. So is it mandatory to seek refuge in Allah from the shaitan when I resume reciting? No, it's not mandatory, but it is definitely highly recommended if you truly want Allah Azza wa Jal to grant you refuge from the whispers of shaitan. Abu Bakr says that he made a grave sin and he committed adultery with a married woman, and now he doesn't know what to do. Should he seek forgiveness from the husband who was betrayed, or should he go public, or should he confess to the judge to implement the prescribed punishment upon him? He doesn't know what to do. Well, there is nothing for you to do except to repent sincerely to Allah Azza wa Jal and to express deep remorse over what you had done, and to ask Allah Azza wa Jal for forgiveness, and to offer a great deal of good deeds so that Allah would compensate your sin with a good deed. And every sinner is addressed in the same fashion. whenever you get weak and fall short, always follow that with good deeds, so that at least you can balance on the day of judgment the good deeds with the bad deeds. So definitely for you, Brother Abu Bakr, you must not reveal this sin to any human being. Never ever reveal what Allah has concealed. Don't tell the husband, don't tell your brothers, don't tell anyone. Because the Prophet says, كُلُّ أُمَّتي مُعَافَى إِلَّا الْمُجَاهِرِينَ. All of my followers of my ummah are forgiven. Their sins are forgiven, except those who expose themselves, those who boast about it. So what you have done is a serious offense. It is a major sin, but Allah Azza wa Jal is the most forgiving. May Allah Azza wa Jal conceal all our sins and shortcomings. Sufyan from Nigeria. Sufyan, I'm afraid your line is at all not audible or not clear, so I appreciate if you call again, Sufyan. We have a question from Brother Abdullah. He says that we notice that when people perform ruku' in the masjid, in the congregation, they tend to move their feet and try to join their feet with those next to them. Why is that taking place? Is it permissible? This is done because when people are standing, some of them may tend to leave gaps, but you don't feel it because before the beginning of the salat you made sure that everything is tight. But during salat people may a little bit move or shift. So when you are offering ruku', you can see the feet, so you tend to get closer to them. It is something that is done naturally. It is not something that is an innovation, or neither something that it is recommended to do, but it happens. The movement is very minimal and there's nothing wrong with that, inshallah. Sister Hasna says that what's the ruling on wearing henna which comes out like tattoo? Since from many years I've stopped wearing that which we get from outside in a cone. Each time I wear it, it comes out like a tattoo. For example, when I make wudu, in contact with water, it starts peeling off. Would my wudu and salah be invalid due to this? Please advise. Okay, we have Sufyan from Nigeria.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum.
Salamullah wa barakatuh.
This is Sufyan from Kano, Nigeria.
Yes, Akhi, what can I do for you?
Yeah, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
During salat, in my sujada, is it permissible for me, after saying Subhana Rabbiyal A'la wa bihamdihi 3 times, is it permissible to say another prayer like Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azaban nar?
Okay. Any more? Second question.
Second question.
Yes.
It's about your program, The Nobles. I don't know if it's still existing. It's very, very educating.
Which program?
The Nobles. The Nobles.
My program?
No, it's a Huda program. It's on Huda TV. I used to follow it in the morning.
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Okay, so Sister Hasna is asking about. Okay, we have Amin from Bahrain.
Hello, assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam wa rahmatullah, Amin.
Sheikh, I have one question.
Yes.
This is regarding Laylatul Qadr. They say that we have to search in the odd nights of from like 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th, and 29th. And people say that we have to be doing ibadat whole night. But if I were to sleep in between, so what is the maximum ibadat can I do? Like praying Maghrib with first Jama, then praying Isha in Jama, and then praying Qiyamul Layl in Jama, and then praying Fajr in Jama. Is there any other ibadat we can do to be eligible to find the night of Laylatul Qadr?
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair.
Wa jazak. Samu from Gambia. Samu?
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Yes, Samu.
I have a question.
Yes, Akhi. Listen to me from the phone, Samu. Mute your TV and listen to me from the phone.
That is, in the Gambia, we have an Islamic council.
Okay. Okay. We seem to have lost Samu. Sufyan says that during sujood, after I say Subhana Rabbil A'la, can I say dua of Quranic dua, such as ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا, etc. There's nothing wrong in that. The prohibition which the Prophet ﷺ had told us about is to recite the Quran. What you're doing at the moment is making dua from the Quran, not reciting it. So while in sujood, if I say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin, no, this is prohibited. I'm reading the Quran. But if it's a dua, there is nothing wrong in that. As for his second question, the nobles, I think it's a program on Huda TV, and I would second your comment to the brothers in the management to reconsider re-airing it once again. Amin from Bahrain says that we know that Laylatul Qadr comes on odd nights. So can I sleep through Laylatul Qadr? And what are the ibadat, the forms of worship that I should be doing? So if I pray Maghrib, Isha and Fajr in the masjid and I sleep in between, is this sufficient? The answer is no. The last 10 nights, the Prophet ﷺ used to wake up the whole night and occupy himself in worshipping Allah. The majority of the time would be for prayer. But you also can recite the Quran, because the most beloved thing a person would do is to get closer to Allah by reciting his own words. So this is the best of dhikr. You also can occupy yourself or your time by dhikr. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allah Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Astaghfirullah, etc. The sky is the limit. Do it a gazillion times. Who's counting? Allah Azza wa Jal would not make you lose a single tasbihah. Unlike those brothers and sisters who, unfortunately, we see a lot of them. Yesterday, a man was shaking hands with me, and there was this big, huge ring-like, and it's the other way around. It's not on the back, it's in front. So I was taking a good look, and he said that this is a counter. He counts tasbih with it. So I said, why would you do that? If you're afraid that Allah would miss one, this is blasphemy. And if it's for yourself, you don't need that. So people should not use such things, because it is more of a show-off. We find people putting their prayer beads, misbaha, around their wrists as if it's a bracelet. Okay, what is this? Some of them tie it in their necks. What is this? You're doing this for dhikr? Or you're doing this to show off to people that, listen, when I'm free, I do tasbih, mashallah, I'm a righteous person. This is all not part of the sunnah. So for you, you can make dhikr. Also, you can try your level best to invoke Allah, make dua. Mother Aisha came to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and told him, tell me about something that I should say in Laylatul Qadr. He said, say, Allahumma innaka afuwan tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. This is one of the great du'as. And this is not limited only for the last 10 nights. You can say it throughout the whole year, praising Allah and asking for His pardon and forgiveness. Among the best and most prominent forms of worship is to avoid haram. It's pathetic when people pray Taraweeh and they may weep because they feel close to Allah, and then they leave for a gap of a couple of hours before Tahajjud, going back to the masjid for Tahajjud, and these 2 hours they watch TV, they watch a movie, they listen to a song. What kind of Ramadan are you running? The least you do is avoid all types of sins. No gossiping, no backbiting, no looking at haram or listening to haram. These nights must be devoted to remembering Allah, to reciting the Quran, to praying Tahajjud prayer, to making dhikr. This is what the Prophet used to do, alayhi salatu wasalam. As for the message that is widely spreading, saying that if you give £1 or $1 or 1 dinar or 1 dirham every night, this means that you have managed to strike the gold pot, which is 84 years of 1 dirham a day. If you pray 2 rak'ahs, this 84 years, etc. and so on. This is baseless. The Prophet ﷺ did not encourage us to go and give charity on the last 10 nights. He didn't encourage us to do Umrah. So if someone says, by this analogy, I could do Umrah every single night of the last 10 nights. This means that multiplied by 84 years. Laylatul Qadr, there is no mentioning in multiplication of the deeds. Allah stated that this night is better than 1,000 months. He didn't say that it is as much in deeds and multiplied by this and that, and it equals 84 or 83 years depending. So this message, while this being spread out, is not authentic. What you do in the night of Qadr or in the last 10 nights of Ramadan are the things that I've mentioned to you. That you pray, that you make dhikr, that you recite a lot of the Quran, that you make a lot of dua to Allah Azza wa Jal, that you engage yourself with whatever dhikr is involved in, even teaching, answering Q&As. This is considered to be dhikr Allah Azza wa Jal, and among all or above all, that you refrain from anything that is haram. The Prophet said, "Ittaqil maharim takun a'bad an-nas." Stay away from prohibited things and you will be the most righteous of all people. This is all the time we have. Until we meet next time, fi amanillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I am a Muslim, Quran is my guide. I hear the calling of them, with it we unite. Muslim, Quran is my guide. I hear the calling of them, with it we unite. We are special only if we follow his light. The way of Muhammad, calling to paradise. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, we are your servants, Ya Allah. La ilaha illallah.